Good evening and welcome to Global Lens News. I'm Sadia Afzal. For years, Saudi Arabia has been working toward developing a civilian nuclear energy program. The United States has supported the idea in principle, seeing it as a way to strengthen strategic ties with one of its closest allies in the Middle East. But now, President Donald Trump has added a condition that could reshape the region's political future. President Trump has declared that the United States will not move forward with a civilian nuclear agreement unless Saudi Arabia formally recognizes Israel and joins the Abraham Accords. The statement was later reinforced by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said the administration's position is clear: no normalization with Israel means no nuclear deal. This is far more than a technical agreement about nuclear energy. It is a diplomatic message that links one of the biggest strategic partnerships in the Middle East to one of the region's most sensitive political issues. So, what exactly is this nuclear deal? Contrary to what some people may think, this is not about Saudi Arabia acquiring nuclear weapons. The proposed agreement focuses on civilian nuclear energy. It would allow Saudi Arabia to build nuclear power plants, diversify its energy sources beyond oil, and benefit from American nuclear technology under international safeguards. For Saudi Arabia, this is an important part of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030, which aims to modernize the country's economy and reduce dependence on oil. For the United States, the deal serves another purpose. Washington wants Saudi Arabia to rely on American technology instead of turning to competitors such as China or Russia for nuclear cooperation. But President Trump has now tied this agreement to a completely different issue: recognition of Israel. This brings us to the Abraham Accords. The Abraham Accords were signed during President Trump's first term and led to normalization of relations between Israel and several Arab countries, including the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan. Saudi Arabia, however, has remained the biggest prize that has not yet joined. As the home of Islam's two holiest cities, Mecca and Medina, Saudi Arabia carries enormous religious and political influence throughout the Muslim world. If Riyadh were to recognize Israel, it would be one of the most significant diplomatic developments in modern Middle Eastern history. But there is a major obstacle. Saudi Arabia has repeatedly stated that it cannot establish full diplomatic relations with Israel without meaningful progress toward the creation of an independent Palestinian state. Since the Gaza war began, public opinion across the Arab and Muslim world has become even more critical of Israel. Images of destruction and humanitarian suffering have made normalization politically far more difficult than it was just a few years ago. This means Saudi Arabia now finds itself balancing several competing priorities. On one side is a strategic partnership with the United States, access to advanced nuclear technology, stronger security cooperation, and economic benefits. On the other side is its long-standing commitment to the Palestinian cause, domestic public opinion, and its leadership role in the Muslim world. Trump's announcement, therefore, places enormous pressure on Riyadh. If Saudi Arabia accepts the condition, it could unlock one of the most important strategic agreements in decades, but may face criticism from many across the Arab and Muslim world. If it rejects the condition, the nuclear agreement could be delayed indefinitely, potentially pushing Saudi Arabia to explore nuclear partnerships with other countries such as China or Russia. There is also a third possibility. Both sides may continue negotiations and attempt to reach a compromise. Saudi Arabia could seek stronger guarantees on Palestinian statehood, while Washington tries to keep normalization alive without abandoning its broader regional strategy. This is why this story matters far beyond Saudi Arabia and Israel. It affects the future of Middle East diplomacy. It affects American influence in the region. It affects the balance of power with China and Russia. And it affects the Palestinian question. And it could reshape alliances that have defined the Middle East for generations. One statement from President Trump has transformed what appeared to be a straightforward nuclear cooperation agreement into one of the biggest geopolitical negotiations of the year. The question now is simple but historic. Will Saudi Arabia prioritize access to American nuclear technology, or will it stand by its long-held position that there can be no normalization with Israel without meaningful progress toward a Palestinian state? The answer could redefine the political landscape of the Middle East for years to come.